Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. Well, last time we was here, like Wednesday? Wow. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I always get talked about when I do that. I'm not feeling well today. I don't feel well. I'm tired. I'm beat. I'm whooped. Hey, it's Manic Music Monday. Or maybe I should call it Manish Music Monday, because manic sounds too, yeah. Maybe. 833-212-1017. I can't even flip paper today. One of the things that bothered me over the break is I saw an article. And then it was kind of talked about, and then it got published by The Root. And I found it interesting. I don't know if you know Ryan Michelle Bath. She's married to Sterling K. Brown, the actor. But it took on a bigger meaning when they started to talk about how certain things affect certain actors, but it's kind of translatable to life in general for black people. And for those of you that don't know, this is Milwaukee Black Talk, WGKB FM, 101.7 FM, The Truth. And so on The Root, the couple opened up about how only black actors kind of feel the consequences when things go wrong or they're canceled, right? So white actors seem to be able to just rebound and win back their solidarity with the rest of the world and the rest of the community, and they're doing great. And the black ones never quite get back to what they were doing because they always seem to be held to a higher standard. And you know how I feel about higher standard, right? No such thing. No such thing as a higher standard. There's a standard. Some people meet it better than others, but it's not higher. There's no... Anyway. So Sterling K. Brown and Ryan Michelle Bath opened up about how something like cancel culture affects blacks and whites differently. You got the corporate world, you got politics, you got sports, you got entertainment, you got media, you got all those things in terms of accountability and consequence. But yet, rich people, especially rich white people, never seem to worry about cancel culture. They don't worry about when they do something wrong, something happening. We even proved that with Hunter Biden. President Joe Biden lied over and 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 said he would not pardon his son and he is not above the law, and then he pardons his son. Now, was that just something he said? And then he talked about how his son, well, you know, they went after him because he's a Biden. No, they went after him because he is a criminal and he broke the law. And here's the kicker. You pardon somebody who admitted in open court that they broke the law on numerous occasions. Drugs, money, all that. But yet for rich whites, it doesn't seem to be the case. So during a conversation, during a podcast, they got into an honest discussion about cancel culture, how it affects black and white entertainers differently. They used the reaction to Kevin Hart, and when they called it homophobic, it was not a homophobic comment. It's what he believes. So if you can agree to believe one side, you cannot dismiss the other side because they disagree with you. You have to hold them both equal, both accountable, and if somebody does not believe in anybody's lifestyle or whatever kind it is their prerogative and their right. But yet he got bounced from hosting the Oscars. And it seems like that's okay. Because we're going to tell you what we believe you to believe, right? We're going to tell you what to believe. What about the people that don't believe what you believe? Why is it we have such a separation amongst people? You can tell I'm tired, too, because some of my words are like among the people. You just get tired of it. Exactly the same when singer John Mayer's weird, uncomfortable 2010 remark about his blank is sort of like a white supremacist. And he was speaking of his male anatomy. See, they can get away with that stuff. You can say things under a lens that makes it okay for you, but not okay for other people. And don't equate saying the N-word, that black people can say the N-word and white people cannot, because that's not what we're talking about. When we talk about that, we'll bring that up. But that's not what we're talking about. And so Sterling K. Brown said that I have observed behavior of my white counterparts on set where people get loud, frustrated, and it's couched as being passionate or animated. But when black people do it, right? Oh, right. When black people do it, it's never part of the artistic process. Black people don't get a pass. That's why black children are thought of as being adults when they're just children, when they're thought of as being more intellectually superior than they really are. That's why growing up, my mother always taught me, if you go in a room and there's a girl or another woman or a child in the room, leave. Over Thanksgiving holiday, shopping. Went into the bathroom, major retailer. I go in, using the restroom, standing up at a urinal. There's a picture for you. And a little white kid comes in and uses the other one. You know what I did? Probably washed my hands in the fastest I've ever washed my hands and left. There is absolutely no way I'm going to be in a bathroom with a child by myself. Now, here's the other thing I did. I turned on my camera. He was 2 stalls away. Doesn't matter. The fact that they were there alone and I was there alone, turned on my camera, pressed record, not audio, the camera, put it in my pocket, washed my hands and left. It's unfortunate you have to do that. Woman comes in, leave the door open. Hey, can you give my daughter a ride home? Sure. They can sit in the back. And I'm putting my phone in the holder, and I'm turning on the recorder for the entire time. And I've only taken somebody's kid home one time in my entire life. I do not take other people's kids home. Why? Because there's a double standard. And I recognize that. Is it unfortunate? It most certainly is. It's definitely unfortunate because we're seen, I believe, in a darker light. We're seen in a space where we're expected to be criminals. And that when bad things come out, it's always you're expected to be guilty. And there's really no discussion as to whether or not you did it or not. Look at Diddy. People have seen zero evidence, and he's already done it. And that's unfortunate. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about him and Cassie. I'm talking about all the other stuff they arrested him for. Somebody said the video, Zech said the video when he was at the hotel with Cass. But here's the kicker. He didn't get arrested for that. So if y'all wanted to arrest him, right, she could have got him arrested. She didn't get him arrested. She waited until the day after statute of limitations was over and then sued him and got paid. That's all I'm saying. I ain't mad at her, but, you know, we are at a juncture in this country where we are so separated. We are so separated that I don't really think we're going to get back. The reason being is that there's such a double standard. There is such a double standard in this country that we can't seem to come together. 833-212-1017 is the number. What can we do? What can we do to fix that? How do you fix America? How? Make my last point. 9/11. How many people died in 9/11? 2,977 people died in 9/11. The guy that we thought would never be a leader became a leader. George W. Bush, the guy we thought stole the election in Florida, pulled the entire country together, and we became one. Folks were shaking cops' hands, crying with firefighters, flying airplanes with 2 or 3 people on. All those things that separated us, 9/11 brought us together when 2,977 people died. COVID came, 1 million people died, fractured the country in two, and I don't think we're going to ever get back. You would think if 1 million people died, it would bring a country together. It wedged us apart even more. So my question remains, 833-212-1017. How do you fix it?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth. Coming with straight truth.
We have to make sure that when we talk about making change, when you talk about vote, when you talk about these elections, when you talk about how we're going to get ahead, we definitely got to start paying attention to the local process, because these are the processes that are governing our lives.
Yes.
And they got you looking across the street down
Absolutely.
At Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. They got you looking at Project 2025, but you barely got money to stay alive.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh, and his name is wonderful.
Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, comes to the Bradley Symphony Center for one night only on December 7th. Get your tickets now to experience lots of your favorite seasonal music the gospel way. Emmy Award-nominated composer and conductor Adrian Dunn leads the Adrian Dunn Singers and the Rise Orchestra in a festive mix of soulful arrangements that are sure to fill you with hope and peace. With drums, guitars, tambourines, and plenty of hallelujahs, this festive concert promises to take the entire audience to church and beyond. Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, runs December 7th only. For tickets and more information, visit mso.org or call 414-291-7605.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com.
We Energies. People you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, next Tuesday. Oh, wait a minute. That's tomorrow. December 3rd is Giving Tuesday, and The Truth is teaming up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for Milwaukee's future. So for nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. Milwaukee College Prep provides a top-tier K-8 education free of charge to 2,000 children in underserved communities. With less government funding than traditional public schools, MCP needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Join us in giving the gift of education Tuesday, December 3rd, that's tomorrow, for Giving Tuesday. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday to donate. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before the break, I was asking the question, how you going to fix America? It's Thanksgiving. I think we should be able to come up with some kind of way. 833-212-1017 is the number. Brian, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
I think the only way to fix America is to stop asking the question, can we fix America?
And do what?
Live as you are. Do as you do.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, none of us are going to live forever. There's no change in America. There's no change in quote-unquote black America until, which will probably never happen, we de-emphasize entertainment. That's the only way black people can change the narrative of what other people, other races see us at, is if we change our narrative. But that won't happen because other races look for us for their entertainment. Because if it wasn't for the way that we do demise ourselves,
right,
they would have no entertainment to look at all in the first place.
So what about?
So until we come to the, pardon me?
Well, what about hope?
Yeah,
like is there space for hope?
There's no space for hope.
Really?
Except for individual musings who are not at the point they want to be. So those are the only hopes that.
Well, wait, Brian. I gotta holler at you about this. So, our children who are living in poverty, like I was growing up, deep, really bad poverty. That's okay. Just leave them as they are. They're just gonna stay there.
Unfortunately, that's the narrative that this wherever we are as human beings, it was already predetermined for us to be that way.
Really?
Well, we can have modicums of success. We can have modicums of success.
But the majority of black people are not poor.
No, they're not, and that's their narrative. But for the people that aren't at a certain level that we deem is necessary for them,
okay.
Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. There's no changing America.
Really?
There's no changing black America. There's none.
Why?
I've watched
Black America has changed.
I've watched America
since
the past 40 years.
Since the migration from the South, starting in 1900s, 1910s, I think we've done okay. I think we've done exceptionally well.
For the most part, we've done astonishingly well since we started out in slavery.
Right.
A lot of us started out in slavery, and every black person here didn't start out in slavery.
Correct.
So let's be fair about it, and let's not pull the wool over our eyes, because there a great percentage of black folks owned other black folks, even in this country.
But that has no bearing, and that doesn't negate anything. It's just a fact. Like, why do you say it like that? As if that makes black people bad or something? Because it made white people bad, and black people own slaves. But I don't understand.
Let's put it this way: we give other cultures,
right,
other races, reason to exist.
In what way?
If it wasn't for black folks, they'd have no purpose or no reason to exist.
Such as?
They just wouldn't.
Such as? Give me an example.
Entertainment.
But we don't make up all of entertainment, and you know that.
We make up the most important aspect of entertainment.
Really?
For the masses of culture.
Like what?
For the masses of culture.
Like what? Like what?
R&B. R&B.
That's just R&B. Just gospel
music.
Okay. You got rock.
You can look back. You can look at Diddy's
You got
party.
country western. No, we ain't talking about Diddy. See, you said that all of America, but look
the majority of people that we didn't hear about that went to Diddy parties were white.
But that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We ain't talking about Diddy. We not talking about Diddy. But we not talking about Diddy.
Yeah.
Music. There's all genres of music all over the world.
All genres of music don't entertain the masses. Trust me, they don't. All genres of music are little. And you mentioned country music,
right?
That only plays to hillbilly type.
Not
white
true.
Folks.
That is
only
not
plays
true.
to them.
Oh my gosh, you're not true. That is definitely not true. Any more so than growing up, black people didn't listen to rock music and all that crap. No, I reject
You ever
that
heard
one.
of you might even have to reject that one, but yeah. Yeah, but going back to the Diddy parties.
I don't want to talk about the Diddy party. I don't want to talk about the Diddy party. I don't care about the Diddy parties. That's not, again, that is not a representation of black people in entertainment and black people in music or black people, period.
It's enjoyable to even have that distraction for other races to watch that. But that's how other races watch us and use us as their crutch. Look at those black folks. Look at even the rich black folks.
But they've always done that. But that's always happened.
Look how evil they are.
That's always happened. There's always a fear. There's always a. So then, so what you're saying is that because of that, there's no real hope for black people in America. That it's going to stay the way it is. Black people are going to hate white people. White people going to hate black people. Hispanic people going to hate everybody, and that's that. and I'm being facetious when I say that, but.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
So, they're going to be. There is hope for modicums of people to pull themselves up, quote unquote, from nefarious living conditions, but for the most part, we're just doomed to be as we are.
Really?
We're just doomed to be.
So
as
there's
we
no
are.
need to go to school. There's no need to get a job. There's no need to.
Don't tell them that.
Get it? No,
Don't
I'm
say
asking
that,
you.
though.
No, I'm asking you because you're saying we're doomed.
I'm a spectator. I'm a spectator of life.
Nah, see,
don't take everything I say
that's
to
the problem
heart.
I have.
I'm just a spectator.
That's the problem I have. You can't talk trash, Brian, and then stand on the sidelines.
I'm a spectator.
No,
I'm an
you're not.
observer.
No, you're not.
Don't
You
tell
are.
everybody what I just told you.
Hey, Zach.
Because nobody will do anything.
Brian loses his black card today. Revoke his black card.
I'm completely black.
Now, you didn't gave up on black people, though. How you do that?
No. I haven't gave up on mine. Mine is
No
straight.
hope. No hope. That's unfortunate. I'm so disappointed in you, Brian. You don't even care.
If we turned away from entertaining people,
right,
and building brick and mortar businesses and becoming employers instead of taking our millions of dollars and giving book bag drives or what have you, and invest that into our black communities to have examples of putting our black folks to work, then things would change. But until we stop the wealthy of our black population stop taking their money and running to the hills, running out to the suburbs, instead of investing in brick and mortar businesses.
Well, Brian,
this same narrative is going to continue to perpetuate itself.
Then why y'all go? Then stop robbing, stop shooting, stop killing, stop stealing, and taking my stuff.
Well, they wouldn't do that.
What?
If they had somewhere to go.
Oh, dude, you're making excuses. You're making excuses.
They wouldn't do that if they could turn 53206. If they could turn 53206 into 53217.
Time out. So the only option to poverty is crime?
Aesthetics. No, aesthetics is a changer of what they outwardly see. If you see crap all day, you're going to act like crap yourself. If you live in a ghetto neighborhood, you're going to act ghetto for the most part, unless you see better alternatives.
Explain to me what a ghetto neighborhood is. Explain to me what a ghetto neighborhood is.
South side of Chicago. Some parts of South side of Chicago, 53206, rundown street corners, paper everywhere, buildings disheveled.
But I see that on the south side.
That's all over. Wherever the place is. Yeah, that's all over. That's all over Milwaukee.
So it's not just black ghetto then.
Black folks need aesthetical change.
So it's not
black
just
folks need
so it's not just all black people.
No, but we need to change. If we could turn our aesthetics into what 53217 looks like, I guarantee you.
But where I live is not going to drive my character.
It's not.
So then what are you talking about? Change aesthetics and then you change the person. You can put a bad person in a good neighborhood and change.
You would also have to change the entertainment culture as well. You also have to change that. You'd also have to change
you just need good parents.
Yeah, well, if your parents are trash,
parents
you could be
didn't let
trash
you.
too.
Well, you keep coming up with the double negative about black people. That disturbs me because what it sounds like is that
you know
what?
Let me tell you what ruined a whole generation of black folks.
What generation?
In the 90s.
Okay.
The generation that grew up watching the Jerry Springer show. That generation had kids, and those are the kids that you're seeing out here now, barely going to school, embracing drill rap, because their parents were too busy watching entertainment shows like the Jerry Springer show, not paying attention to their kids playing video games and acting fools.
There are multiple things that occurred in the 1990s that caused the decay of the black family and the black community. I don't think Jerry Springer. Well, that's your opinion, and I can respect that. But Jerry Springer is not
all the ilk that came along with it.
Oh, come on, dude. So what you're saying is that black people are so weak-minded, and black people are so gullible. Hang on, listen. Black people are weak-minded, and they're gullible, and they can be so manipulated that something like a Jerry Springer can change the trajectory of your family.
It told them a vision.
Oh, my
it's
God.
a television.
Come on.
They embrace the television.
Come on. You stretching it, bro.
Black folks have been under a spell since the 1990s.
So what happened to the ones that made it? No, because too many people have made it since the 1990s. So what are you talking about? What do you say to the ones?
Well, first of all, the like I told you, the people that enjoy watching us watching our entertainment, bankrolled a certain generation of black folks to perpetuate stupidity.
Correct.
And they made they were paid handsomely for it, like the Snoop Dogs, the P. Diddy's, the Jay-Z. They were paid handsomely
to do what?
To mind control and put out their musical spells. There's musical spells. We've been under a spell, man. Just follow it. Black folks have been under a spell since the Jerry Springer show and rap music and drill rap music from the start. We've been under a spell for the past 40 years. Past 40 years of trash.
So then how did the majority of us become middle class? How did the majority of us graduate from high school? How did the majority of us
paid handsomely?
No, what?
Are paid handsomely.
Are you kidding me?
You are paid handsomely to destroy your own.
Really?
There's no.
So because I graduated from college or high school, I've built businesses before, though I don't understand what's like. I don't like.
We didn't build.
No. You don't get to argue. You're very particular when you argue about what we didn't do. But when I challenge you with something that we did, you all of a sudden talk about we. And
well, what do we do that's beneficial to more than say 100 black people? What have we done that's more beneficial? What have we done? What have black people individually done to put more than 100 black people to work at a business?
Well, let me see.
Name a business that's done that.
A business? I don't understand what is it that you're asking. I don't understand what you're asking. You're asking what have we built? Hang on,
have we built any brick and mortar businesses for ourselves that have put black folks to work? Have we built any black businesses to put more than 100 black people to work in this country in the past 40 years? I'll wait.
I'm done. Are you kidding me?
I'll wait.
You're kidding, right?
Show me. Where's the warehouse?
Are you talking Milwaukee or just in America? Listen to what I'm asking.
In America themselves. In America.
Black Enterprise.
In America themselves.
Black Enterprise magazine.
I'm not talking about black entertainment. I'm talking about black entertainment. I'm talking about
why don't you stop listening and you ask me a question and I'm going to answer. You don't get to tell me my answer is wrong because you don't like it. So, Black Enterprise Magazine, Black Entertainment TV, because those are businesses. No, don't skip to entertainment and pretend like you get to dismiss it. I'm talking about a periodical that taught black people how to invest, how to become middle class, how to become wealthy, and how to leave a legacy and build generational wealth. Earl Graves Sr. did that. Black Entertainment TV, when there was nothing around like the truth, BET was the news source, the commercial source, the place you saw black people that are in business and commerce doing great things. So that's two. And they hired more than 100 people each. So, next.
Also, Ebony and Jet.
No. I didn't want to smack you with that one because that one would just knock you out of your chair. Because they're in Chicago. Oh, no. We'll skip Motown, too, because that's entertainment. That's music.
Ebony and Jet is entertainment as well.
What about the company in Chicago that created this thing called Afro Sheen? What about Burrell and Burrell Communications? Like all these black... No. These are your arguments. These are your arguments that you said we haven't done anything in America to start a company, brick and mortar, that's hired more than 100 people, and you just got like 10 of them.
Bronner Brothers. Don't forget them.
No, you don't get to agree with me now. You don't get to agree with me now.
That's not enough.
We're only 14% of the population. How many? We're only 14. Well, technically, we're only 13.7% of the population. Well, how much do you want? Like when does it end? And where's your brick and mortar?
The butt of everybody else's joke.
Where's your brick and mortar? Well, who cares whether or not somebody joke about you? That's your ego. Let it go. Where's your brick and mortar building? Where's your business?
They're out on the road right now.
That's not what I asked you. Where's it at?
They're out on the road.
How many people you hire?
Over 10.
Okay.
And they're out on the road right now.
Okay.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. I've told you guys this story a long time ago.
Make it short.
If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be driving around in those beautiful sporty cars you drive in now.
Why you say that?
That you run into poles with all the time.
Why you say that?
Because I changed the narrative of America. That's why.
How's that?
Back in '87, the American auto industry used to wonder why Honda and Toyota would outsell them in cars. Well, they came back when they only had one radio talk show, and that was the Larry King Show. They put the leaders of the auto industry on the radio with Larry King, scratching their heads, trying to find out why can't we outsell Honda and Toyota? It took me to call them and tell them that you make ugly cars. Stop making ugly cars, and America will buy your cars.
Okay.
That's why.
All right. Well, thank you much, Brian. I got to roll. I'm way, way, way behind, but thank you. I appreciate it. Give me a call back. And then he just hangs up in mid-sentence. Interesting. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's almost that time. The Black and Diverse Gala featuring the pitch finale, Thursday, December 19th, 5 to 9 p.m. at the Deco. The Wisconsin Black Chamber is about to change another life and award the first place winner of the pitch finale with $10,000. Second place, $7,000. Third place, $3,000. There will also be great food, a wine tasting of the wines made by our Black Winemaker Chicago Day Trip participants, entertainment, vendors, networking, and just an all-around great vibe. Join the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce in celebrating another great year at our Black and Diverse Gala featuring the pitch finale. Tickets go on sale November 22nd. Visit twbcc.com to purchase tickets so you don't miss out on what we have going on.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
Do you have a movie that would make you cry?
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Obviously won a lot.
Yeah.
I've never cried. In the moment, for me, I don't cry. But when I watch other people do it, tears.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
Luck is when you do this.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
It's not enough to buy the whole team, but it's enough to buy a majority stake.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
We have a few accidents still up on the board that we're dealing with. One on 94 eastbound, just inside the Jefferson County line. This one has the left lane blocked. Backups heading all the way into Jefferson County, so heads up with that. We've also got a crash on southbound 41, just south of Hampton. It's off on the left shoulder. Folks walking around their cars at this point, so just be extra careful. We got delays coming in from Appleton Avenue all the way down past that point. Then we've also got an accident on eastbound 94, just about at Loomis. It's off on the right shoulder, so that is going to be affecting your ride, stretching all the way back through the Hale interchange. As a matter of fact, southbound 894 slowing down from Beloit Road down into the Hale to that accident scene. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 21. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 32. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Fresh after their beating of the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving night, the Green Bay Packers are now setting their sights on the Detroit Lions for this upcoming Thursday night clash.
Took it easy on them a little bit. We did have an individual period, but everything else outside of that was jogged through. We're just trying to, help them recover a little bit just with the amount of volume that they've experienced over the course of a week.
The Packers did practice on Sunday. Jair Alexander returning to the practice field for the Pack. However, linebacker Edgerrin Cooper remained out due to that hamstring injury. And lastly, we'll head over to college football, where the Wisconsin Badgers football season came to an end over the holiday weekend as they fell to Minnesota 24-7, dropping them to a season record of just 5-7. Wisconsin will now not be eligible for a bowl game this season. That ends a 22-year run. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Remember, FDIC.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. I almost said I'm your horse. I'm your host. You can tell I'm tired, right? I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before I get to Bruce, I want to read a D'Angelo. D'Angelo's Advocate sent a text, and I'm going to read it verbatim because I don't want anybody to say, and I have comments about it. It's not a diss. It's a perspective I have because I'm an analyst. I'm not an advocate. Okay? All right. They said, to change a culture intellectually, Kendrick Lamar failed his black fans again. Why in God's name is Kendrick Lamar name is even in this sentence? Like Kendrick Lamar is somebody. Are you serious? That's part of you are literally proving Brian's point. Anyway, did they really need another popular, influential article on the first song referring to black people as niggas over and over again? No, we don't. He could have changed a young black generation's perspective of their reference of self for the better. If only Liz Break 'em Down Brown was a popular rapper. She calls every black person king and queen. My issue, not every black person is a king or queen. Don't give me a false sense of being great when you ain't did nothing and you ain't great. Earn it. Become it. I mean, at some point, we just have to wake up to the fact that we have to hold ourselves accountable, right? If you tell me to become a king or become a queen, that's one thing. But if you call me king or queen and I'm not, what does that say? I get the mindset, right? I get it. Treat a man as he is, and he'll remain as he is. Treat a man as he could be, and he'll become what he should be. And I think that's the difference between that. And so we have to remember that there's a fine line, especially with this generation, that there's a disconnect. That they look to influencers and people that have zero control or input on their life. And we look to people who don't know much or much more than they do as influencing their life. We are not kings and queens. We can become kings and queens, but we're not. I understand thinking of yourself, right, as more so that you can become more. I get that. But at some point, I think it's a little overboard. Bruce, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good.
Good. Question is, how do you bring the people together? All right, the 50% of each side of
right,
whether it be Democrat, Republican, what have you. But I guess at this point, I'm not concerned about the rest of the country. I think about Milwaukee. I think about our city, and I think clearly you have a new president coming in. He visited this state. He made a lot of comments about Milwaukee and about economic development. And I guess what I'd like to see, because this is, we're not going to solve things overnight, but that's been said a million times. But we have elected officials in this town that are all Democrats, almost 100% are Democrats, and I haven't heard much of anything from any of them except for a bit of whining and crying about the results. The bottom line is now I'd like to see a strategic effort to take advantage of the fact that you have a new president that has put forth ideas and do things that take advantage of that and plan for it. Be ready to go and have advocates for our city in Washington. We have local officials here that could help, be advocates for that. The Gwen Moores of the world, the Tammy Baldwins, the Ron Johnsons. Let's start with what can we do to get funding into this city, and not just more money, but money that has a target. Right. And a target on areas that the individual earlier was talking about. I mean, we can all face it. You asked what's a ghetto neighborhood? Well, I don't know. The Atkinson Avenue, and I can go through every angle street and a lot of the streets of the city where you've got old commercial space with apartments upstairs that used to be where the local businesses were. Correct. And the locally owned businesses were. So why don't we put pressure on those owners, get the money into these neighborhoods?
You want to know why?
Begin to start to lift. Sure.
Because most of those people live in suburbs, and we've been paying rent and all those fun things to put their kids through college while we don't go. So it's
well, you know.
Go ahead. Hello, Bruce. What happened? It shows he's on air, but all right. Well, I'm gonna put him on hold. 833-212-1017 is the number. If you have a comment, how do we bring all this together? How do we create something for it? We got Al. We got Tuck and Tex hanging on. We'll be right back.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jamming with Juice each and every day on 1017 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
Oh, and his name is wonderful.
Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, comes to the Bradley Symphony Center for one night only on December 7th. Get your tickets now to experience lots of your favorite seasonal music the gospel way. Emmy Award-nominated composer and conductor Adrian Dunn leads the Adrian Dunn Singers and the Rise Orchestra in a festive mix of soulful arrangements that are sure to fill you with hope and peace. With drums, guitars, tambourines, and plenty of hallelujahs, this festive concert promises to take the entire audience to church and beyond. Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, runs December 7th only. For tickets and more information, visit mso.org or call 414-291-7605.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What's up?
Well, first thing I want to say is good evening, and I wanted to let everybody know ghetto is a mindset.
Come on now.
Also, when you look at the inner city neighborhoods, those neighborhoods are owned by people who live outside the state.
That is correct.
And the building inspector said one of their hardest problems is holding these people accountable. Also, if you want to bring people together, it has to be It can't work if it's do as I say, not as I do, because it's a double standard. But what I find to be so odd when people talk about certain people whining, those same people say that never stand against the wrongdoing of what people are pushing and saying when they are pushing rhetoric because they want to be on the other side of the table. So in order for all of us to go, we all have to find value, but you cannot find value if you are putting rhetoric and double standards. And keep in mind, those things they say is ghetto, they have even worse in their neighborhoods. It's just secret, like drugs. Thank you very much, and may everybody have a good evening.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But the bottom line is what? It's all over. All these issues are all over. I knew people that owned dozens and dozens of homes in the city of Milwaukee and got rent, lived in Cedarburg and Grafton and Sussex and Pewaukee, living in Lake Country, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year off multiple properties in the city, in those zip codes, and kept them minimally up to code, but made sure they collected their rent every month. I even worked with a person who was ashamed to admit that they owned real estate in Milwaukee because they knew they were making money off of people and not really offering them a way out. Now, you would think that if you had something like that, you would make the people that were there have a better way out. You think? But it's just not true. Now, we've always fallen short. Hey, tomorrow, December 3rd, is Giving Tuesday, and The Truth is teaming up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for Milwaukee's future. For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. Milwaukee College Prep provides a top-tier K-8 free education free of charge to over 2,000 children in underserved communities. With less government funding, traditional public schools, MCP needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Join us in giving the gift of education. That's tomorrow, Tuesday, December 3rd, for Giving Tuesday. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday. Top 5 at 5 up next.
What's good, y'all? This is 101.7 The Truth's Telly Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. The goal of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is to provide a platform for citizens of Milwaukee and Truth Nation to have their voices heard about concerns that have daily, direct impact. So join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Donors choose. Support a classroom. Build a future.
Did you know that every year, public school teachers spend nearly $500 of their own money for student supplies? Let's do the math. That comes out to over $1.2 billion a year. And that's just not right. At Donors Choose, we want students and teachers to have the tools they need for a great education. And now, more than ever, they need your help. Here's what you can do. Go to donorschoose.org and choose from teachers' requests that support reading, math, science, history, and more. Once a request is funded, we'll take care of shipping everything directly to the teacher. It's that easy. You'll receive thank you letters and photos from students and teachers and a report of how every dollar was spent. Teachers' needs have never been greater. Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Donors choose. Support a classroom. Build a future.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I only got to one story in an hour. One. I had 5 things to talk about. I got to one. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to hit the talk and text line and all the chat, and then I'm going to hit the top 5 at 5. Somebody said, this is good advice. Change is inevitable. Somebody said he lost me at Ron Johnson. That is part of the problem. We dismiss people we say we don't like, we don't agree with, we don't anything, we don't like what they say, but he represents you, so he needs to actually hear from you. Not trashing him or bashing him, but telling him this is what we need for our community. These are the things you need to bring back from the federal government. So you can get mad at Ron Johnson because he's a Republican, but what has Tammy Baldwin done for Black Milwaukee the entire time she's been in? Call it where you see it. Call everybody out. Don't just pick one and then say, well, it's that one. No. Somebody said, wonder how Al feels about the pardon. Hypocrisy on both sides. Again, when somebody does something hypocritical, and it's a Democrat, y'all seem to always point it out on both sides. But when Republicans do something, you only hold it to them, hold them accountable on their side. That's a problem. Stop going to the middle when a Democrat does something wrong. If it's wrong, it's wrong. he would not pardon you. So why does his son get off after you lied and said that you wouldn't? Anybody said nothing? Anybody mad? Anybody get upset? Black folks ain't mad at I would do it to my son. See, black people spend an inordinate amount of time trying to do so many things to make themselves look like they're fair, look like they're in the middle, look like we're, we got to do right. So we got to, hold it up and do the right thing. I get it. But when you have the power to do it, and it's not hurting anybody else, and then you choose not to use the power based on what somebody else might think about you, that's a problem. Because if Barack Obama had pardoned his brother, y'all would have lost y'all mind. Oh my God, you're taking advantage of your power. Biden did it. Black folks ain't said nothing. To crime that he admitted. He admitted doing, and but let you be held to the same standard. All of a sudden, there's a problem. There's an issue. DB said, thank God you said that this queen and this king and queen business is out of hand. Where are the subjects? It's stupid. That's funny. 833-212-10. Let me see if I can find it. I got so much stuff going on. 17 is the number.
Number 5.
From WISN.com, the judge granted a delay in the trial of Maxwell Anderson, who's accused of killing Sade Robinson. Now, let me think about something. Now, I'm not a racial, everything's race. Oh my God. I can see it sometimes, and I can see other times when it's not that. But some things are so glaring that you have to ask yourself, the trial was supposed to begin next Monday. But the defense filed a motion to delay because Anderson's attorney said they need more time to go over his phone records. What you been doing? What have you been doing for 6 months? Anderson, 34, is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of property, and there will be another scheduling conference February 10th. The trial is now scheduled for May 27th. Why? Well, we got to get the forensics and the guys and he's down in Florida, and we got to get him up here. And really? Because last time I checked, y'all wasn't putting trials of black folks on hold. Y'all wasn't extending the trial for the 10-year-old who's now 12 who killed his mother. Oh, okay. Oh, that's different. That's different because we're always considered. Well, we're considered animals anyway, so it probably wouldn't matter.
Number 4.
Speaking of animals, 7-year-old Jacob Bear was found dead in Two Rivers after an extensive search. The body of a missing 7-year-old and his family must be heartbroken. Jacob Bear from Two Rivers was found Sunday morning in the West Twin River. Bear, who police said is autistic, was last seen around 4:30 p.m. Saturday near Veterans Park in Two Rivers. Two Rivers police say Jacob was playing outside when his parents lost sight of him. Two Rivers police posted an update on Facebook at noon Sunday saying, "Our hearts go out to the family and friends of Jacob Bear." Late Saturday night, police say they located items in the West Twin River that they believe belonged to him, and the DNR, Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, also identified an area of interest near those items. And on Sunday morning, DNR identified a possible location in 5 to 6 feet of water for what is believed to be bear. Recovery operations continued, and the body was recovered and identified. So, heart goes out to his family. Something we learned in law enforcement about autistic children: they love water. Autistic children love water, and they travel. They will walk. They walk a lot. I'm not an expert in autism, but the one things that I knew actually helped us save, of what I know, at least one kid on the South Side who was missing from the South Side and couldn't find him, and told everybody, head to the lake. Autistic children love water. And they ended up finding him either, I think it's St. Francis. Like he was from the south side of Milwaukee and had walked that far. And a couple hours later, we sent police to the lake and some of the tributaries, the rivers, and waited there, and he came to them because they're drawn to water. And that is an unfortunate thing. That is very unfortunate. I can never imagine losing a child. That has got to be. I heard something the other day that made me pause. When your parent dies, right? When your spouse dies, but what do you call a person when a child dies? Like in our intelligence, in our lexicon, there's no conscious reason why we would have to come up with a word of an adult losing a child because, it's just not normal. It's just not expected. Widows and widowers and children that are left without parents are called what? You remember?
Bereaved parent or grieving parent?
No, you can't call them a bereaved parent or grieving parent, right? You got a widow and a widower, right? Husband and wife. What's a child left when they lose their parent? But yet we have nothing for the other way around. And I think that's good because I want my kids to outlive me.
Number 3.
From Fox6Now.com, a Washington County judge entered not guilty pleas for Jessica Croning, the adult charged along with 3 minors for allegedly poaching more than 100 deer. She faces 3 misdemeanor counts in Washington County. Coroner 36 is due back in court on December 30th. She entered a not guilty plea, again, charged with illegally poaching more than 100 deer. So 3 misdemeanor counts, contributing to the delinquency of a child, illegal shining of deer, and resisting a conservation warden. 3 juveniles were also charged, had a $5,000 signature bond for Croning, who was making her initial appearance. And again, she'll be back in court. She's expected to appear with her attorney on December 30th. So what they said she did is that well over 100 deer were shot and killed from late spring 2023 to July 2024. Alleged crimes happened in a 200-mile region, 200 square mile, between Campbellsport, Wacusta, Lomira, Teresa, West Bend, and Kewaskum. Most of the activity happened after dark and will continue well into the early mornings of the next day, the sheriff's department said. The suspects drove around with a spotlight shining the fields, and when the deer was spotted, the suspects would allegedly fire a rifle from the vehicle at the animal, and many of the excursions involved shooting multiple deer in one night. If they believe a deer was shot, the sheriff's department said the suspects would go into the field, identify the sex of the deer. Most of the animals they found dead would be left to rot where they lay, but the heads of some bucks were removed, particularly when the buck had large antlers. Other deer were wounded, but not killed. See, this is the problem I have. I know it's against the law, but the way these stories are written, you would think that they were killing people, that it was really that important. Can you tell I'm not a deer guy? I'm not a hunter. If we cared about people the way that we actually cared about deer and dogs, what would this world be?
Number 2.
From blackenterprise.com, Black women and girls who were victims of, get this, a former Kansas City, Kansas detective, Roger Golubsky, will finally be able to tell their story as preparation for a federal trial. begins. That's what Associated Press reports. The jury selection for the Golubsky trial will begin today in a federal courthouse in Topeka, Kansas. Golubsky, who is white, is accused of, get this, sexually assaulting black women and girls for decades and then terrorizing those who fought back. Prosecutors allege women who are residents in poor neighborhoods were fearful if they crossed paths with the ex-cop. He's accused of demanding sexual favors, and if they didn't oblige, would threaten jail time or harm to them or their family members. He's charged with 6 felony counts of violating women's civil rights and has since pleaded not guilty. His attorney, Chris Joseph, labeled the allegations as being fabricated. However, victims claim otherwise. Jermika Hobbs, who will not sit as a witness in the trial but filed a separate lawsuit, says she was groomed to be one of Golubsky's girls. She claims she gave in to the former detective's wishes so he would not bust her for drug use. Another victim alleges the sexual assault began when she was 13 years old, and another after her sons were arrested. Every time I turned around, I'm looking. I'm thinking somebody is after me. I have no peace at all. According to the Kansas City Star, both women tell stories of rape, sexual misconduct between the 90s and early 2000s. They claim Golubsky repeatedly forced himself on them in his patrol vehicle or inside their homes after threatening them. The case highlighted the massive distrust between predominantly black communities and law enforcement. One neighborhood Golubsky reigned over is listed as one of Kansas' second poorest zip codes. It's added to a lengthy list of prosecution of similar abuse allegations across state lines, resulting in hundreds of officers losing their badges after accusations of sexual assaults. The trial is the latest in the county's prosecutors' $1.7 million effort to re-examine cases the 71-year-old began working, you get this, in his 35-year tenure in the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, including a double murder case resulting in an exoneration and an organization run by Jay-Z suing to get their hands on police records. A fellow former Kansas City, Kansas police officer, Max Seifert, ripped the seal off the department for having a boys will be boys mentality, described how misconduct was often tolerated. And he said Golubsky's wife, his ex-wife, once complained that her then husband desired to solicit prostitutes and was once caught having sex with a woman in his office. So they finally got him, and the feds came after him, and so now he's on trial for violating black women's civil rights. So we shall see.
Number 1.
This from FoxNews.com, if you haven't heard. A Dane County judge struck down today parts of Act 10, a law that places limits on government worker unions. Judge already ruled in July that the law broke the Wisconsin Constitution, and now today, Judge Jacob Frost released his decision laying out what parts of Act 10 should be struck as unconstitutional. This gets to the heart of the court's July decision, the unconstitutional creation of the Public Safety Employee Group and deferential treatment of it without a rational basis. So I strike these sections, he wrote in the decision. So what does that mean? Well, Act 10 put limits on government worker collective bargaining. They could negotiate pay raises up to the rate of inflation. The law exempted police and fire unions from that restriction. The new lawsuit says the distinction between groups violates the state constitution's equal protection clause. Now, me personally, I think what happened is they went to Dane County, where it's particularly a liberal court, and all the judges are liberal, and they decided to overturn part of Act 10. I happen to agree with the fact that they overturned Act 10 because cops and firefighters should not be the only people that get to bargain. The problem is, at what limit do you have? Now, I believe you should set a limit. Inflation? Maybe just set an arbitrary limit of between inflation plus whatever. I don't know. But what we can't do is just give carte blanche to get these raises of 200% and 300%. because that's what some people got. I think down the longshoremen in either California or Florida got like 150% increase, something crazy like that. Doesn't make any sense. But are you passing this because you're anti-Scott Walker, anti-police and fire, or are you passing it because you just want what's fair? I think it's a great argument, but there needs to be some guardrails up. It does violate, in my opinion, the state constitution's equal protection clause. The problem I have is a circuit court judge is making this decision when it needs to be at the appellate level or the state level. And I think that's where they're going with it. But I have no problem with people trying to negotiate their pay with a union. Now, here's the other kicker. You still shouldn't have to be in a union. You should be able to choose whether or not you want to be in a union or not. And that's just how life goes. You can't have it both ways. But you don't get to exclude people that if one person gets paid something and the union negotiated it, everybody gets paid. And so with that, hey, sometimes life is good, sometimes life is bad. They're saying that Act 10 saved taxpayers $16.8 billion. That's why we have a surplus. Union members say the law is taking a toll, creating low pay and staffing shortages. Well, we had staffing shortages already. So both sides, watch this. I think both sides are correct. State Representative Ryan Clancy, Democrat from the 19th District, said, I was a teacher in Milwaukee Public Schools 13 years ago during Act 10. I saw firsthand the negative impact of the lack of bargaining. Collective bargaining had not only on our profession of teaching, but also schools, students, and communities. In what way? I saw the effect it had, but you don't tell us what way. In what way? And that's the problem I have when people want something just to have it. So now the union will make more money, but will students learn better now that you get more money? Or will you just get more money and we still don't have good schools, we don't have good scores, right? Right. Oh, well. So now we're back to what we used to be, right? Everybody will get paid. Everybody will grow. Everybody will retire. And our students are still at the bottom of the education scale.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Tuesday, December 3rd is Giving Tuesday, and The Truth is teaming up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for Milwaukee's future. For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. MCP provides a top-tier K-8 education free of charge to 2,000 children in underserved communities. With less government funding than traditional public schools, MCP needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Join us in giving the gift of education on Tuesday, December 3rd for Giving Tuesday.
Oh, and his name is wonderful.
Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, comes to the Bradley Symphony Center for one night only on December 7th. Get your tickets now to experience lots of your favorite seasonal music the gospel way. Emmy Award-nominated composer and conductor Adrian Dunn leads the Adrian Dunn Singers and the Rise Orchestra in a festive mix of soulful arrangements that are sure to fill you with hope and peace. With drums, guitars, tambourines, and plenty of hallelujahs, this festive concert promises to take the entire audience to church and beyond. Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration, runs December 7th only. For tickets and more information, visit mso.org or call 414-291-7605.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel. That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese, all paired with your favorite sub or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, Truth Nation, we've teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. So visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com to sign up today. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Our Music Monday is Earth, Wind, and Fire. 833-212-1017 is the number. Talking text line says, white people have called black people Nigers, niggas, since slavery. All blacks don't believe they are, but let a white person call them the N-word to their face and see how they react. The tongue is really sharper than the sword, Mr. Harris. People have called you a doctor for so long, you actually believe you are. No disrespect. I don't even understand what that meant. Like, there's a difference between an academic doctor and a medical doctor. I don't have MD, I have PhD. That's one. Number two, the media calls medical doctors doctor only because they don't think the public. I literally had somebody from TV tell me this, and they said that the public is not smart enough to recognize the difference between an academic doctor and a medical doctor. And I said, what? So the public is that stupid, or you've just done a poor job at articulating between the two? Because that's what it sounds like. Sounds like you're lazy. And so people have this thing in their brain because they're incorrect. There's a distinct difference between an academic doctor and a medical doctor. So what exactly are you saying? Mr. Harris, people have called you a doctor for so long, you actually believe you are. I am. And it's not disrespectful. What's important is that you're completely and totally misinformed. And so I don't know how to help you with that, no disrespect. But you know, when people say no disrespect, then they call you Mr. Harris and say you're not a doctor. Like, so? Like, why would that bother me? Why would that upset me? Why would I be upset that somebody's, oh, you're not a medical doctor? I know. Never said I was, don't want to be. Truly don't want to be. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to build a company in Milwaukee and still live here. I'm not going to live in the suburbs. So the positive side of me says, hey, that's great. Knock it out. The other side of me says, yeah, good luck with that till they start. Yeah. Because I think there's this misnomer that nothing happens on the South Side and people's houses don't get broken into and there's no burglaries and there's no drugs, because there is. Significant. Yeah. So don't get it twisted. There is no real safe place in Milwaukee to live. There's some places that are safer than others, but no place where there's human beings is going to be 100% safe. And I'm not trashing or bashing or saying, I'm just saying that that's just how life is. That's how it goes. And so you just, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. And who cares what people call you? At some point, you have to be above that. You have to be above that. 833-212-1017 is the number. I saw a article on news1.com, the black media website. And when we come back, I want to talk about the article that was written about the Biden-Trump race for president. And leave you with the subtitle that says, instead of introspection, they all seek scapegoats.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Attention families, Milwaukee Public Museum wants to remind you that Kohl's Thank You Thursdays are in full swing. Receive free access to MPM's permanent exhibits on the first Thursday of every month. Milwaukee Public Museum would like to thank Kohl's for their support in making this program possible. Visit MPM's website today for more information and to book your reservations. mpm.edu/KTYT. That's mpm.edu/KTYT.
Do you need CPR or first aid certification? A&E CPR has got you covered. With over 15 years in the health and wellness industry, A&E CPR is a trusted American Red Cross training provider right here in Milwaukee. Whether it's CPR, first aid, or AED training, A&E CPR classes give you the skills and confidence you need to respond to life-threatening emergencies. They offer online courses and in-person classes. You can even receive your certification the same day you complete the class. So visit ANECPR.com to get certified today. That's ANECPR.com.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts. And if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. You'll see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me, it takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
We have a few accidents still up on the board that we're dealing with. One on 94 eastbound, just inside the Jefferson County line. This one has the left lane blocked, backups heading all the way into Jefferson County, so heads up with that. We've also got a crash on southbound 41, just south of Hampton. It's off on the left shoulder. Folks walking around their cars at this point, so just be extra careful. And we got delays coming in from Appleton Avenue all the way down past that point. Then we've also got an accident on eastbound 94, just about at Loomis. It's off on the right shoulder, so that is going to be affecting your ride, stretching all the way back through the Hale interchange. As a matter of fact, southbound 894 slowing down from Beloit Road down into the Hale to that accident scene. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 21. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a high of 32. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Fresh after their beating of the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving night, the Green Bay Packers are now setting their sights on the Detroit Lions for this upcoming Thursday night clash.
Took it easy on them a little bit. We did have an individual period, but everything else outside of that was jogged through. We're just trying to, help them recover a little bit just with the amount of volume that they've experienced over the course of a week.
The Packers did practice on Sunday. Jair Alexander returning to the practice field for the Pack. However, linebacker Edgerrin Cooper remained out due to that hamstring injury. And lastly, we'll head over to college football, where the Wisconsin Badgers football season came to an end over the holiday weekend as they fell to Minnesota 24-7, dropping them to a season record of just 5-7. Wisconsin will now not be eligible for a bowl game this season. That ends a 22-year run. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Yes, you're going to get it again. We need you to give tomorrow for Giving Tuesday. And the truth, we've teamed up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for this future. For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. Milwaukee College Prep provides a top-tier K-8 education free of charge to 2,000 children in underserved communities. So, with less government funding than traditional public schools, Milwaukee College Prep needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Doesn't matter how much, just make sure you give. That's tomorrow. Join us in giving the gift of education by visiting MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday to donate. Right? That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/giving on Tuesday to donate. So make sure you do that. I'll be doing it. I'll be throwing a little change their way because I support them. And I think it's going to be a great thing. So 833-212-1017 is the number. Before the break, I was talking about this story I saw on News1.com. The most influential Democrats remain clueless about why Donald Trump won. And it seems to be a theme where it's just gotten quiet. So the more the most visible and well-connected members of the Democratic Party speak out about the aftermath of the 2024 presidential election, the easier it is to conclude how Donald Trump, despite everything he is and represents, managed to defeat Kamala Harris. In a new interview hosted by Barack Obama, Pod Save America, aides John Favreau, John Lovett, Dan Pfeiffer, Tommy Vietor, the most senior members of the presidential campaign, offered their assessments on what went wrong. In short, you ready? They don't seem to know why they lost, but they're happy to return to familiar tropes instead of any real interrogation of their strategy and the party at large and why they got their heads handed to them. I say this, and this is the author. Let me see, what's his name? Michael Arsenault. He said, I say this after hearing David Plouffe, senior advisor for the Walls-Harris ticket, argue on the podcast that Democrats have to dominate the moderate voter. He explained, while in one instance he argues that it's imperative that Democratic candidates mobilize their base and acknowledges that we fell a little short in Philly and Detroit, that's not good. He follows that by stressing that we must dominate the middle. This despite Democrats losing ground with black voters 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024. To be clear, these staffers warned before Election Day. They were warned by black-led organizations that they needed to find more, better ways to reach black voters. They didn't care. It's like justice, right? Justice doesn't matter as long as it doesn't touch you. You'll watch it. You'll see it's wrong. You'll see it's bad. Black people tend to only speak up when it's a white person doing it. White people tend to only speak up when it's a black person doing it. But if the same race does the same thing and they're being unjust, guess what? Nothing happens because it doesn't affect you personally. If it's not your family member, your grandmother, your grandfather, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, we've watched people be treated unjustly and didn't say a word because it didn't affect us. And that's why they won't say anything. They didn't, in their minds, they didn't lose. She lost. But yet the Democratic Party has been losing the black vote over and over and over. And everybody's scared to be Republican. But at some point, you have to acknowledge the fact you lost. And it ain't about the middle, because the middle left you. The middle rolled out. You can have all your convenient narratives that you want. You lost. Clearly. They told you no. We're part of the working class. We're part of the middle class. And we're part of the upper class. So you could pick whatever section you want. Black people told you no. And you have to deal with it. You could cry and complain about it, but nobody cared about climate change. Nobody cared about abortion. They cared about the border, and their number one concern was the economy. You kept talking this idiocy about defund the police and abolish ICE and decriminalize border crossings and let people just walk into your country, and then what? You have the audacity to say it's about the middle, it's about the moderate vote. You got hammered. 100 days to fix everything, and you lost. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And so now you sit here looking ridiculous. Looking ridiculous. Black people are not the moderate vote. I think you learned that. Black people are not the moderate vote. We have a voice, and it's powerful, and you were told if you lose X amount, you will lose the presidency. You'll lose your office if you lose a percentage of the vote. And you lost a significant percentage. And now you have to live with it. Interesting. 833-212-1017. What was that? What was that the Democrats decided they wanted to throw? We just give them a little something, It's like a baby crying. I know they need food. Give them some water. Give them some juice. It'll be all right. Yeah. Throw a little something together. Hook them up. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I am fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. How was your holiday?
It was good.
Okay. How's family doing?
I went to my sister's.
Good.
She's getting better. My daughter's getting better. She's still at the place.
Okay.
A little nursing home where they put her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to recover.
All right.
But she missed Thanksgiving. She couldn't come.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, everybody, I guess, except for my son is in jail. I don't know. They keep calling me, telling me to be the guardian of him. So I already told him I would be. And so all the stuff you got to go through with that. I didn't know that. I said, dang, I thought you could just say, I want to be the guardian.
Mm-mm.
And they check you out to see if you're, if you're clear.
Right.
And then you're the guardian.
Make sure you ain't stealing
now you got to take a test.
Yeah, make sure you're not stealing.
You got to take a test.
All that.
She said, look, I don't want nobody money. Shoot, if that was the case, I'd be
wait. So if something happened to you, I'll be more than happy to be the person on the other end of that. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. Because, hey, ain't nothing I could do with it once I'm gone. Hey,
I
don't care about no money like that.
I'm kidding.
I mean, it's true, though. It's true. I don't care about that. Whatever little bit I got left, it ain't going to be a whole bunch, no way.
People say that, and then they be like, oh, by the way, it's this much. You're like, what? Wait, what? So, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Like some of those panhandlers, they go out there collecting money, and before
some of them veterans that got money piled up in a bank account somewhere pass away and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, millions. So,
yeah.
Yep.
And you just don't know I was talking to you. While you were talking and stuff. I was just talking to you. And you were saying the Democrats lost. I said, we didn't lose.
You lost.
I was going like that.
You lost.
We didn't lose.
You lost.
They cheated.
They didn't cheat. You lost.
Trump was supposed to
Stop
be in
being
jail.
silly about it, Sandra. Let's be an adult about it, Sandra. You got your head handed to you. You lost.
Nope.
And
you did not lose. And Kamala did not lose. She did not lose.
Listen, this silliness of positive thought sounds good, but it's ridiculous when you got your head handed to you. You lost, Sandra. You lost.
Why do the Republicans talk that way? Just like Biden's son.
You lost.
What about Biden's son?
So watch this. Where's all the black people complaining about the fact that Biden didn't pardon all these other folks, but he pardoned his own son? Like, wouldn't you be offended? I'm offended by that. That there are people who are sitting in jail now that didn't do anything.
He says he's
pardoned. Let that slide.
He says he's going to pardon January 6th people.
Come on.
And
you
so
don't know what he's going to do. Let him get in first. Let him get in first.
He already said what he was going to do. He pardoned Roger Stone, didn't he?
Well, that's Roger Stone. That's one person. We're talking about a guy
that's another one. That dude over in Chicago, he pardoned him.
Listen, Sandra, listen.
Say it.
He actually, Biden's son admitted, he pled guilty. He admitted doing what he was doing. So come on. I mean, really?
Well, Trump did too.
We ain't talking about Trump. We're not talking about Trump.
I'm talking about criminalization.
We're not talking about Trump. We're talking about Biden. We're talking about Trump tomorrow. We're not talking about it.
No, because these Republicans, they're going to go crazy with Biden's son.
We're not talking about that, Sandra.
Okay, maybe that'll come with Friday.
Huh? No.
Maybe that'll come with Friday when you can do the pop-off.
Okay. Yep, you can do that.
I'm just talking about the crime. I'm just saying the crime. That's all I'm saying.
Stick to what we're talking about.
No. I'm not going to let people
bash Trump on Friday. Today, we're talking about
No, I'm not bashing him. I'm saying a crime is a crime. That's all I'm saying. Bye-bye, kid. I'll call you back and argue about the crime.
All right.
Crime is a crime.
Okay.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Of course it's the crime. A crime is a crime. If you're wrong, you're wrong. That goes without saying. Absolutely. We're going to bash him on Pop Off Friday. We're going to pop off about Trump. All the stuff he did wrong and all the stuff he said and all the stuff. Because it was wrong. And you can't do it while he's in office. He took advantage of that. Now watch this. Am I mad that Biden did it for his son? If I was president, guess what I would do? Family getting off.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And at Vin Baker Recovery, they understand the power of having real support while you're on that journey to recovery. This is why at Vin Baker Recovery, they customize treatment plans specific for your needs. Vin Baker Recovery provides our community and anyone looking for help with access to mental health care and recovery support, helping you treat addiction. So whether opioid abuse, alcohol, or other controlled substances, Vin Baker Recovery helps you get back to the lifestyle that you know will be the best option for your future. Vin Baker Recovery offers licensed counseling and therapy services to curb the mental health problems that have been impacting our communities for far too long. They provide services like medication-assisted treatment, outpatient care, and hub and spoke services with peer support. So what are you waiting for? Vin Baker Recovery accepts walk-ins and appointments. It's just that easy. Just visit VinBakerRecovery.com. That's VinBakerRecovery.com. They're here to help you win the day.
It's almost Christmas, and Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive event is this Saturday in Grafton.
Come enjoy the holidays with us and WTMJ as we collect toys for families in need this season.
There will be musical performances and a fun tribute for the Ozaukee County first responders.
And don't forget to bring toys.
Help us make a difference this Christmas. Visit KidsToKidsToyDrive.com.
See you this Saturday in Grafton.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Oh, well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven Center for Home Care, a successful Center for Employment, a Center for Trauma Recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, Music Monday, 833-212-1017 is the number from News One. Morgan State University, y'all heard of it, HBCU, is now the largest okay, it's not second. Okay. All right, it's third largest. It's the third largest HBCU in the nation after record enrollment for the fourth consecutive year. Morgan's record-breaking enrollment for fall 2024 is a testament to the growing recognition of the transformative education and opportunities we offer. Achieving 4 consecutive record years of new student growth alongside our highest ever graduate school enrollment speaks volumes about the dedication of our faculty, staff, and alumni to make Morgan a premier destination for students nationwide and around the world, says David K. Wilson, president of Morgan State University. The enthusiasm reflected in the 24,000 plus applications we received underscores
our mission's impact, and our brand's strength. As we continue to break barriers and set new benchmarks, Morgan remains committed to empowering students to achieve academic excellence and make meaningful contributions to society. And I want to say congratulations. I know quite a number of people who graduated from Morgan State University. It's now the third largest HBCU in the country. Enrollment 10,739. 9.4% increase over last year. New student enrollment 2,369. That's 4% over 2023. Graduate enrollment is at 1,712. They had a 14% increase. 24,000 applications, believe it or not. First-time freshmen. 96% came from first-time freshmen, and the retention rate is over 70% for the 14th consecutive year. So they must be doing something right. They have 150 academic programs leading to baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral programs and certificates. So want to say congratulations to them. Go on ahead and do it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's going to be coming up next. I'll see you in about 22 hours. It's been great. A little bit of a struggle, but I made it through. Want to say thank you to DJ Brother Z. Appreciate you.
Ken, let's get it.
All right. Have a great evening. God bless. Take care. I'm out.